The numbers did grow because of the floods. So we gave families.
And also we support the different events. We had in National City, we had the National City Police Day Out. We stay over there. We had we support the resort of bird from National School District, and also National City Middle School invited to us for give the support at the party. So water, and we had the event like with the day is one day we had in the year when the all the families coming and receive clothes, free and different items, and we doing usually in February, and all the support that different school request us, we stay there.
So for the Good Deeds Day, we also invite families from Suva. It's not just National School District, but that one is actually sponsored through the Jewish Family Resources.
We participate in the National School District Parent Summit, and also National City Middle Parent Summit too. And we usually we had one table with resources, and we if somebody needs resources can come in at the event and request the resources for us.
And we always take our bags of food with us because it's part of the FRC. And some families, I will admit, they come, they pick up the resources, and then they say, "Can I take the rice?" Like, sure.
Why not?
And this is one of the things that I do. I started with my father-in-law, but it is so I do the U.S. citizenship applications and also the to renew your green cards, and also again those children, minors whose parents become a U.S. citizen. There's also an application for them to become U.S. citizens, so they don't even have to take the test. Yes.
No passport renewal.
Yes, I also do passport renewals and I do the century. The century.
The century too?
Yes. Yeah. So one of the things that I started with the century was because we have a lot of SARP students. Let's face it. And instead of making that line hours, so we just do their century for them. They pay. I just do the application.
Yeah.
I prepare their packets for all.
And all the service that is free.
Yeah, it's free. I don't charge.
Sign me up.
Just please no more tamales. Or burritos.
Call us. We'll
Or
help,
lumpias.
we'll
That's
help
what they
you.
give me too.
We'll help you with that one.
This is another program that we have. So we have the SDG&E's Neighbor to Neighbor program. It did change a lot. So they used to help families with $600 if you were behind on your bill. Now it's $300, but you have to have two things, or one of two things. Either receive your 48-hour disconnection order or already be in the dark. Okay, if you're behind, then the thing that we do is send you over to the MAC and they can help you with up to $1,000. But with us, this one, they don't ask for a social security. MAC does, but this one doesn't. Families do call and say, I just received the letter. When is it due? Tomorrow. When did you get it? Oh, a week ago. No, that's not 30 hours.
Okay, this is the information we had for any contact you need. This is the phone number, the email. We had two emails, one for the National School District and one for South Bay Community Service. And if you can take in the information, you can call us anytime and request the service.
So for me, it's easier if you email me at bosuna@nsd.us. If you call, because there's a lot of calls, sometimes I don't get them. But the good thing is that our phones are linked to our computers, so we see the voice notes there. And I actually, if you got the packet for the PowerPoint presentation, our information is there. Anybody not get the packet?
And this.
So our information.
If you have any question for us,
Sí, claro que pueden ir con nosotros. Lo único es que la comida se da el primer lunes después del primer viernes de cada mes. Está medio confuso. Pero esa es cuando ellos pueden ir y hacer sus
Un día al mes nada más.
No, ellos pueden ir, por ejemplo, tenemos estudiantes que van toda la semana durante, como nosotros
En
no cerramos,
vacaciones.
nosotros no cerramos.
Nosotros estamos abiertos todo el año. La única semana de vacaciones que tenemos es Thanksgiving.
Con nosotros
De ahí
estamos
todo el año
abiertos.
trabajamos.
O sea, sí nos damos nuestras vacaciones, pero se queda una, pues se va So, ¿qué fue la pregunta?
Community service.
Oh, community service. So anyone can do community service, students do, because we don't close, so we're open the whole year. Sometimes if we go on vacation, one of us stays, while the other one has fun. But, but yeah, so they can come and do community service. We have students that come all throughout their breaks, and one of them last year made over 500 hours for community service.
And remember, the Seawater School District, we do require 30 hours of community service, okay?
Just that student, sorry, wanted one of a UC university,
Yeah,
so she wanted.
great.
And
Got a
also, because
scholarship.
the more hours you put, I guess you get like a grant or something.
Yes,
You can
scholarship.
get more bump on your application.
So, but yeah, so they're more than welcome.
That's
They
great.
are heavy. The bags are heavy.
It's like 30 pounds.
Yeah, but we also teach them how to use the scanner for the food bank. And actually, that student is now at Mesa, and they have a family resource center like us. So it helped because she can't today. This year, because it's her first year, they can only do second years. So she'll be working at that family resource center with the
Excellent
because she's on your
experience.
We had a student right now from some water from the lab. And there is hope to us in the morning.
she's gonna help you guys too. But we are tough. So it's like if we can do it, they can.
30 pounds.
And then the rice and all that, yeah. But actually, a lot of families, parents from Sweetwater, you have to help us a lot.
Yeah, we take all the parents because
So Alma, for
Alma, there's coming like 11 parents hoping to us. Really, we appreciate the support that's of water.
So it takes it.
I think there was another question in the front. Any questions? Preguntas?
No.
Are there any online questions?
Thank you, Lee.
Porque antes no había venido esta información de que los alumnos podían hacer community service ahí. Tanto que anduve buscando, pero yo nunca había logrado historias. Tanto que anduve buscando.
When we came, I guess, 2 years ago, I think it was, and last year, yeah, we always say community service.
One
Maybe
time
we're
a
here
year
that day.
we coming and doing the presentation.
And we always say community service and then spread the word. Yeah, but we always talk community service. That's how I brought in my girls too. Well, I don't sign it, she does, but like I told her to tip on website.
And I think also if you check out our SWI counseling website, under community service, Ms. Levanson does an amazing job of including all of our nonprofit agencies in the community, and you will find the family resources also listed there. So I could show you later on, or to see that information online.
Yeah, because students, even when they come for community service in 1 week, they finish if they're there the whole day. Because we also have it's called Delilah's Closet. So in that closet, we have food, we have the basic needs, toilet paper, toothbrushes, toothpaste, and it's for the families too, and uniforms. Because remember, National School District, they would. So we have all that for the families.
Yeah, and we need a student for helping to us
To
organize.
organize all that stuff.
¿Qué necesitan los estudiantes para hacer community service?
Traer su hoja, they have to bring in their form. Tienen que traer la forma de servicio comunitario. I have them, so I print them out, so I have them. Yo ahí las tengo,
Oh, yeah. Okay, good.
because I print them out.
The question was, what do the students need to bring for community service? The verification form, and we have a PDF translation was right there. You're welcome to grab as many as you need. Just a friendly reminder that your student will want to fill out their information, the name of the organization, in this case, Family Resource Center, a description of how they're gonna help, and the parent guardian permission, and their social studies teacher, like their history teacher. That could be world history, US history, government. If you'd like to.
Yeah, so we only take those applications if they're signed.
Good, thank you for doing that.
And if they forget their form, you miss school, you miss out.
Oh, give me 30 hours. Give me 30
But that's what I
30
tell them.
hours.
Are there any other questions that we have for our lovely guest speakers today from the Family Resource Center? No? Anything online that popped up? No?
¿A qué hora están abiertos? De 8 a 12, de 8 a 12 y de 1 a 5, from 8 to 12 and 1 to 5. Puede ir, sí, you can go. Estamos enseguida de la escuela Kimball, sorry. We're right next to Kimball School. Enseguida de la escuela Kimball. El edificio es de National School District, pero está todo. No todo National City, eh? It's just not for all of National City, it's just the family.
The family had the students.
Monday through Friday. Y de 8 a 12 y de 1 a 5. And yes, I always say, if they send me an email, on Friday night, sometimes I do answer them on Saturday. And I'm not supposed to, but it's like just get it over with.
But sometimes closed because we had meetings or events like today. We closed because we don't have more staff over there. Like, we're doing this
So we
sometimes
stopped it
closed.
we're just a couple of hours. Which helps, because like I'm just. Yeah, is that it? Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
If anybody would like to get something to drink before we transition to the counselor updates, does anybody want to take a quick little stretch or anything? We're all ready to go? Let's move forward. Okay, excellent. So as we know, today is our first counselor chat. And I do want to welcome and let parents know that all of this information will be posted online. So at the end of today's workshop, I'll go over where you could access the presentation, where you could access the family resource presentation and some handouts and resources. So please sit back, relax. You can take a digital break at this time and focus on our updates here from the Counseling Center. Just to keep in mind, our next chat will be November 13th. If you would like to save the date for that one, we will be having a guest speaker from McAllister Institute. And that is a local organization that we also collaborate and work with so that they can bring awareness to our students about alcohol and drug use. At the end today, I would like to take a survey to see what parents would like to hear about with respect to drug and alcohol awareness. Because our wonderful guest speaker, Maya, after that day, would like to focus on what parents would like to hear. So let me go ahead and get started today. You met me already, Maridela Zoya. I'm one of the 7 counselors here at Sweetwater High School, but I work with an amazing team of counselors. We have Brenda Chavez Casas. She works with students with last name A, like Alvarez, to CAR, like Carrillo. We have Miss Nancy Garcia over here, lovely. She's taking some notes because any questions that we'll ask will also be posted in our parent center so that you can access the information later. We have the wonderful Mr. Tick Tran. He's our lovely tech support. We also have a few parents that are joining us virtually at the time. We have Miss Vanessa Rico. She's one of our newest additions to our team, and we're very lucky to have her. She's a very experienced counselor, brings a lot of knowledge, and just a great contribution to our team here at Sweetwater. Miss Alina Vallejo is one of our wonderful counselors. She is our part-time counselor. So if your student falls within her alphabet of Moran to O, please know that she is here on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. But because she's a part-time counselor, if you would like to get a hold of her, please email her. She's happy to help and respond to our parents and help support you still if your student happens to fall within her alphabet. And then, of course, the wonderful Miss Elizabeth Valencia Garcia. Morning. She is a wonderful virtual tech support that really helps to stream this. She helps maintain our SOHI Counseling website with the most up-to-date information for our families. So it's really, really lovely. And of course, myself, I get the opportunity to work with students with last name SAL through Z. So that is our wonderful team of 7 counselors that we have here at Sweetwater. And we'd like to start with just reminding everybody that we as a team are here for all of our families. We do our best to support everybody, but as like many of us like to say, we are a team. We work together with you. So as a team of 7, we help support over about 2,200 or almost 2,300 students. So 7 of us supporting 2,300, you can imagine. But working together, we are stronger. So we always ask to please reach out to us and work with us so that we can best support your student here at Sweetwater High School. There's a few ways that we're here to support our families. And of course, the first step in that support is communication. We want to make sure to bring information and awareness to our families. And a couple different platforms that we use is Jupiter Grades. If you do not have your Jupiter Grades set up, then please take advantage of joining Alma at the Parent Center. You'll see that there's online and text support on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8:30 to 10:30. And during that time at the Parent Center, if you don't have your Jupiter Grades or you're having trouble with the online registration for Infinite Campus, there is support there to help you. So please know that you are definitely not alone with that. Right, guys?
Yes.
Now, appointments. Sometimes the counselors and we're doing things like this, presentations for our parents, presentations for our students. So please know that if you call us, we may not be able to answer right away or get back to your call, but we do our best to try to get back to our families within 24 to 48 hours, and we really appreciate your patience and understanding with that. You could also contact us through email. I will say for many of us that it's probably a really good form of communication because we can always squeeze in a reply back as well. But please know if you call our counseling center, our wonderful Miss Marty Ramirez right here, she'll do her best to get that message to us, and we'll do our best to get back to you right away so that we could schedule an appointment to meet with you in person, or we could schedule an appointment if you prefer one virtually. Or if you just need to talk to us over the phone, maybe it's something that could be answered over the phone. That's perfectly fine. We also have our Google Classrooms, which is another platform of communication that we use to get a lot of information out to our students. So all of your students have the opportunity to join the SUHI Counseling class of, if they're seniors, 2025. If they're juniors, class of 2026. And sophomores, 2027, and of course our freshman class of 2028. And there we post community service opportunities, workshops, conferences, a lot of information. And parents, please call or email the counselor if you want to be part of that classroom. Because correct me if I'm wrong, Ms. Valencia, we're able to also include them as well.
Yes.
So next we have here our academic support. So there's so many ways for academic support for our families. And so we want to make sure that we have all of that available for you as well. So please know that one of the things that we do is in the first semester, we go ahead and we provide information to our students. So for example, right now, this week we are finishing our senior check-ins. So starting in August, all the way through this week, all of our seniors have come through the counseling center. And one of the things that we do is we have a credit check-in with them to see how they're doing for graduation, to let them know what they need to make sure to take care of and complete this year, including the community service and how to prepare for after graduation. So we provide them with some resources and a slide deck presentation where they could access all different resources for after graduation, like college, military, vocational trade schools, many of those options. So that's one of the layers of academic support that we actually have already started on. Now, with that in mind, in addition to the academic support, we also offer college and career support for our students. So we want to focus and make sure to meet with all of our students, but as you know, there's 7 of us and 2,300 students. So we have done an organized lesson, right, team? So we have the lovely Miss Vanessa Rico and Mr. Tick Tran that are working to organize our 10th grade career exploration. So when we get back from the fall break, as a team, we'll be going out to your students' world history class. There we'll be going over some information, how they could start thinking about career exploration and awareness. We want to make sure that your student is already starting to think of that, because I'm sure many of you maybe have already experienced, what do you want to do after high school? I don't know. So we want to hopefully plant that seed of helping them to start thinking about what is it that they might be interested in. And it's a great lesson that they're working on so that we could reach our 10th grade group. For our 11th graders, right after we finish with our 10th grade, we'll be going to their U.S. history class. And there we'll be talking to them about all the options that they could think of and are available to them for after high school, and how to research and begin that exploration. We'd like to try to connect it to what their career came up for them and what career they're thinking of from 10th grade. As I mentioned at the beginning, we started with our seniors, but of course, last but certainly not least are our 9th graders. When we get back on the Thanksgiving break, we will be also working with our 9th graders through their world geography or AP geography. And there the freshmen will have a chance to go over their 6-year plan. What that means is that they'll be able to see everything that they might have taken in middle school that counted for graduation for high school, like maybe a math or world language, and everything they're taking this year all the way through senior year. And as long as they do their part in going to their class and passing their classes, they will be able to complete all of their graduation. And for students that pass their classes with a grade of A, B, or C, they'll be also able to meet the requirements for a pre college admission. Now, of course, we know for many of our students, it's not just about the academics, even though we know that's an important part to help prepare them to graduate and for their plans after high school. It's not just about the preparing after high school, but we know that this could be a very unique time for our youth, especially in today's day and age. I realize with social media, a lot of studies and research have shown it is definitely directly correlating with impacting the social emotional wellness of some of our youth, increasing levels of anxiety and depression. So although as counselors, we are not therapists, we are social emotional support for your student. So if your student's going through a difficult time, they know that their counselor's office is a safe space where they can come check in. They could have somebody to check in with. And we're very fortunate at Sweetwater that we have a wellness room. So in our wellness room, because we realize sometimes as the students maybe had a falling out with a friend or somebody, sometimes all they need is just a quiet space to sit back and relax. They just need like maybe 15, 20 minutes just to de-escalate and get ready to go back to class. So fortunately, we just ask our students to please still check in with their counselor. If for some reason their counselor is not available at that moment, we do ask them to check in with any adult here, because there will be an adult in our centers, so that they could open up the room for them so that they can have access to the wellness center. Now, in some situations, some of the counselors and I have noticed that there is students that are coming in very regularly. And maybe there's a little bit more behind this. Maybe some of our students have dealt with some trauma or something that happened, maybe even before coming to Sweetwater, that they're having a hard time with and processing those emotions, and it's starting to build up. So please know, as counselors, we're also, although we're not therapists, we're able to help families connect to our Family Resource Center that we just had today. And they'll be able to help you, as we heard in their presentation, connect to therapy support in the community. The only thing that is required for that is Medi-Cal, and we understand that some of our families might have your own health care, so we'll just give you some feedback on how to go about that process with your own health care. Perfect. Are there any questions so far? Well, that is a little overview of some of the support that you'll have here from the counselors at Sweetwater High School. But I do have some updates. Was anybody at the coffee with the principal yesterday? Yes. Okay. So we have a couple of parents that were there. So some of it might be a recap. But just to kind of give you a little bit idea about what's going on since we started school in July, as I mentioned earlier, we started with our senior check-ins. We're just finishing this week. Hopefully, I don't know, maybe your child went home and said, if you have a senior, I know what I need to do to graduate. I already have my plan with my counselor. But if not, and if you have any questions, please make sure to schedule an appointment with your student's counselor. And please know that although not all our counselors are bilingual in Spanish or bilingual in Tagalog, we do have translation to help one another. So we're able to help you in ideally your own language to the best of our ability. And so please make sure, don't hesitate, schedule that appointment if you'd like to meet with your counselor to get those updates. I do also want to let everyone know that credit recovery did start this week. So you should have gotten some information again through the Jupiter grades, Infinite Campus, and if your student needed to go to credit recovery, they should have hopefully registered and should have started this week. Classes vary, the schedules are either in the AM or the afternoon. So please keep that in mind. And of course, the FAFSA. For those of you, does anybody have a senior 12th grader? Okay, perfect. Few parents. So we know that it's going to be really important that we are able to get money to help our students pay for college. So the wonderful Mr. Tran is leading our center with financial aid workshops that he's bringing to the platform. Don't let them
Get
use
that
Mr.
money.
Tran.
It's all about the money.
She's the warrior.
And also Miss Vanessa Rico will be assisting me as well. Yeah.
Oh wait, perfect, Miss Vanessa Rico. So what they're doing, that application is supposed to be out by October 1st, but we heard that it might be delayed to December.
It will be starting December 1st.
Perfect. So once that gets started, our wonderful team is helping to coordinate and bring workshops to our families here on campus. So please look out for those messages from the counselors. You're welcome to come with your student, and that's where you'll be able to get that additional support.
Yeah, and also I want to add, also there is a small group of there's a small team here at our site also that includes a few teachers that are going to be working together with us to help the family through that process of applying for financial aid. So more information will come in the near future.
Exactly. So it's just something to keep in the back of your mind. You will have support along that journey. So will your students. When we get back from the fall break, we're going to transition right into that college application time. So for your seniors that are planning to go to the university, we know that there's a time-sensitive deadline for many of them, like San Diego State and Houston schools, that is November 30th. So starting November 1st, our counseling center will be open in the morning and after school on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays, where your student could come by, have a quiet space to work on their college application, and there will be a counselor available to help answer any questions for them. Now, a special addition to that is Ms. Rico, that we're going to also have somebody from San Diego State. We're going to have somebody from San Diego State coming to help our students with their college application on October 30th. So she's working with a great team at San Diego State. It is going to be targeted to our students that are eligible for San Diego State, but please keep that in mind for that additional support for our students to get. And I think that covers it for our updates, right? Do we have anything else that I may have missed? You know, something I missed that just happened, and Miss Luansi so whether she took the lead on this, was suicide awareness and prevention. Do you want to add anything to that? I know we have that nice little there. But
Yeah, so September is National Suicide Awareness and Prevention Month. I know it's a topic that we kind of don't like to talk about. It's a little taboo, as they say. It's things that we don't talk about straightforward with our children or even with our colleagues or even with our spouses. But we have shared with students just some strategies about suicide prevention. So I'll just briefly talk about it because as parents, I think it's important that we know what we can do if we notice that our students or our children are experiencing maybe some mental health concerns, right? So one of the things that I've talked to students about is the acronym ACT, ACT. So A is for acknowledge. So when you notice someone like your children or your friends or your spouse, when they're not themselves, there's something going on and you notice, it's important that you acknowledge that with them. Like, hey, are you okay? You seem a little sad. You're not your usual self. Is everything okay? That you're acknowledging that you're noticing that they're different, because that by itself sometimes already shows that person like, hey, someone is noticing that I'm not okay. The second part is C. Tell them you care. Okay, I care about you. That's why I'm asking. I want you to get help. I want to be here for you. I care about you. So the C is care. So A is acknowledge. C is care. T is to take them somewhere and get them help. Okay, so just because someone is showing, maybe they're sad, or maybe they're not showing signs of suicide, but you notice that they're having some mental health concerns, you want to make sure that you tell them that, I'm here, I'm going to take you, or I'm going to help you get some help. And what does that help look like? Eva and Blanca were here today. You could call them and say, hey, I think I need some help with my child. They seem a little depressed. I think they're having some mental health concerns. Now, if it's an emergency, just like if you're having a medical emergency, you call 911. But if you're having a mental health emergency, you call 988. Okay. Even if it's not super urgent, maybe your child is having a crisis and you don't know what to do, you can call 988 and they'll talk you through. They have people there who speak all kinds of languages. So I know most of us are Spanish speakers. They absolutely have somebody there who can talk you through. So 988, feel free to call anytime, whether it's a crisis mental health emergency, or if you just have questions. Like, I'm not sure what to do with my son or my daughter. They're acting like this way. What can you help me with? And that's what that number is for. So 988. And anytime you all have questions about stuff, I mean, we're here too. Like Ms. Arroyo mentioned earlier, we're not therapists, but we're kind of what we say, your first responder when it comes to mental health. So we'll assess, we'll talk to your child. Sometimes they just need someone to talk to for a few minutes and they're fine. But sometimes they need more than that. And that's when we'll involve you. That's when we'll refer out to places like the Family Resource Center to get you additional help. But that's in a nutshell, suicide awareness and prevention.
Thank you, Ms. Alonso. That was very helpful. So that gives you a little overview of our first quarter. As I mentioned, our next update will be in November, so please stay
Hey,
tuned
good
for
morning,
that.
staff and students. Sorry for the interruption. Here. Staff,
One of our
reminders,
teachers.
the 4 total spots available for the 2 sessions of devil's influence treatment during the 3rd period today. So take a look at the email and sign up. Not too late. Also, students, if you signed up for the Friday Night Live, the Health and Leadership Club, the first meeting is tomorrow at lunch in my room 151. You should be getting an email shortly regarding that. So again, first meeting tomorrow in room 151 at lunch. Have a good day.
All right, perfect. So we'll save the date for November. As I mentioned, we're going to have a guest speaker from the Callister Institute. And just to get a show of hands, she is able to provide information on marijuana use and awareness and prevention, and also on opioids and fentanyl. But it is separate presentations. Can I see a show of hands for the parents that are here today to represent? Who would prefer to have information from regarding marijuana? If you could raise your hand. Or if you prefer to get some awareness about opioids and fentanyl, which we know is a crisis, or vaping as well, would you raise your hand? And if you don't really care what we have, it seems like it's okay either one. So I'll let her decide what she'd like to present, and maybe she could give a quick little overview on the different topics for you. Perfect. As I mentioned at the beginning, all of this information will be available on our suicide counseling website. If you go here and if you just go to our parent information for parents, you'll notice that Ms. Alonso does a wonderful job posting our information. So we're saving the date for November 30th, but here you'll be able to see the recordings from our workshops. So I always like to allow a space for people to be able to digitally detox and just be 100% present and to be able to know and be confident that this presentation, any questions asked will be also uploaded there for you. and any handouts will be available as well. The other great thing on our SUI counseling website that you could access, people asked earlier, was community service. I think the parents stepped out, but there is right here a community service link where you could access the form online. That's the form that you all received a copy of. But if you keep scrolling down, you'll see information on community service from our district. But this is what I was mentioning. Ms. Luansi provides us great resources here from National City and Chula Vista, nonprofit organizations that your student could reach out to, see if they're interested in volunteers at the time, and then just complete the form and make sure to work with their social studies teacher to get that form submitted and turned in on time. Perfect. So SUI Counseling website, I would bookmark it as your favorite because we provide a lot of helpful information there. And yeah, that will be our first update for the school year. Does anybody have any questions for any one of us on the team? Yes.
Me gustaría que a los estudiantes les dieran en las clases de droga, alcohol, que a ver, el cigarro, el nuevo es el electrónico, más que bueno, los papás también, pero yo digo los estudiantes.
Yes, that's a great suggestion. So the suggestion was from the parent that she'd like to see our school bringing some more awareness to our students on vaping and alcohol. And we do have the alcohol preventers month. Does anybody know off the top of their head when Red Ribbon Week is? I think it's coming. When is it? Yeah, it's like the next month. And so we have a couple different programs on campus that try to bring some awareness as well. Like our peer mediation program had some information at lunch for kids. They try to bring some awareness via the Suhai Media News. But that's a great question, and we'll make sure to share that with our admin team as well. Thank you so much. Is there October 23rd? So October will be the month where we're highlighting that awareness, just like Ms. Melanson brought the awareness for suicide awareness and prevention. In October, we'll transition to alcohol drug. Very welcome. Thank you. Any other questions? Well, it's been a nice, quiet group, but thank you so much for joining us today. Remember that team of 7 of us are here to help support you and your student. So let's work together as a team. Make sure to contact us, give us a call or email us, and we'll do our best to be in contact with you as soon as possible. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank
Have a great day.
you.